everybody. I have three more of my books that are published. I don't have the other ones at the moment, but I have nine, I think, others published besides the ones I've already read to you guys. But this one is right now the biggest one. This is Raven and Beast Boy, and I did where Beast Boy is on the front, Raven is on the back. And we're gonna start off. If I can get that out. Chapter 1, Shadows in Motion. The Titans are on a mission. Raven and Beast Boy move as a unit. But something is already off beneath the surface. Night swallowed Jump City in a thick, moonless haze. The Titans move across the rooftops like streaks of color, Robin in the leaves, Starfire growing faintly behind them, Cyborg scanning the streets below. Beast Boy and Raven brought up the rear. The mission was supposed to be simple. Track a series of energy spikes downtown. No hostages, no explosions, no world-ending threats. But the air felt wrong. Heavy, electric, like the city was holding its breath. Beast Boy shifted into a hawk and glided beside Raven, who floated silently, hood up, cloak trailing like smoke. You feel that? He asked, voice low. Raven didn't look at him, yes. He waited for more, but that was all she gave. Her tone was clipped, distant, even for her. He noticed the way her hands trembled slightly beneath her sleeves. He didn't push, not yet. Robin singled them forward. They dropped into an alley where the energy readings were strongest. The moment they landed, the ground vibrated. Cyborg frowned. That's not normal. A pulse of dark red light shot up from a manhole cover, spiraling into the sky like a flare. Robin's eyes widened. Titans! The street exploded. Beast Boy shifted in a tiger midair, tackling Raven out of the blast radius. The breeze rained down. Starfire fired bolts of green light, illuminating a figure rising from the smoke. Tall, cloaked, masked, and radiating the same red energy that had been spiking all week. Raven stiffened in Beast Boy's arms. She knew the energy. Ray? He whispered. Her eyes flashed. Not white, not demonic, but something strange, controlled, contained. I'm fine, she said, pulling away. Let's finish this. But Beast Boy didn't miss the way her breath hitched or how the shadows around her feet curled like they were hungry. The Titans charged. The masked figure vanished in a burst of red light, leaving only a scorch mark behind. Robin cursed under his breath. He's testing us. Raven stared at the scorch mark. Jaw tightened. No, he's testing me. Beast Boy stepped closer. Raven, not now. She walked past him, cloak snapping behind her. He watched her go, unease twisted in his stomach. Something was coming, and it had its eyes on her. Chapter 2, The Fracture. Raven prepares to face the masked villain again and loses control of her powers. The next night, the tower felt colder. Raven stood in the train room, eyes closed, breathing slow and deliberate, candles floating around her, flickering with each inhale. She was trying to center herself to quiet the storm inside. It wasn't working. Every time she reached for calm, she felt that red energy again. The masked figure's presence like a splinter in her mind. Her hand shook. Her reflection in the darkened window flickered, shadows rippling behind her, like wings. Ray, Beast Boy's voice broke through the tension. She didn't turn. I'm preparing. You're shaking. It's nothing. He stepped closer, gently touching her arm. It's not nothing if your powers are reacting before the fight even starts. The candles trembled, one shattered. Raven flinched. Beast Boy didn't. Talk to me, he said softly. She opened her mouth, but the tower alarms blared, cutting her off. Energy spike detected. Downtown. Raven's voice crackled over the comms. Titans, move! Raven's eyes darkened. It's him. She teleported him both to the city in a burst of black energy. The masked villain stood atop the ruined building, red power swirling around him like a storm. The moment Raven appeared, he smiled beneath the mask. I've been waiting. Raven's pulse spiked. The shadows around her surged. Beast Boy stepped in front of her. Back off, creep. The villain raised a hand, and Raven's powers reacted violently, sprawling out of her control. Garfield, she gasped, clutching her head. I can't. Dark energy exploded outward, cracking the pavement, shattering windows, sending Beast Boy flying back. Raven, he shouted, scrambling to his feet. She hovered above the ground, eyes glowing white, cloak whipping like a living thing. Her voice layered, distorted. Azarath, Menthrone, Zinthos. The villain laughed. Break, little empath, break. Her power surged again, wild, unstable, dangerous. Beast Boy ran toward her, ignoring the shadows clawing at him. Raven, look at me. She didn't hear him. She didn't hear anything. The powers were slipping, and this time she wasn't sure she could pull them back. Chapter 3, The Breaking Point. Raven's power spiraled out of control. Beast Boy refused to let her fall. The city shook, not from an earthquake, from her. Raven hovered above the cracked streets, eyes blazing white, shadows spiraling around her like a cyclone. Cars lifted off the ground, streetlights bent, windows shattered in a wrinkle of psychic force. The masked villain stood on a rooftop, arms spread as if welcoming the destruction. Yes, he purred. Show me what you really are. Raven screamed, a second layer with a dozen voices, and the shadows exploded outward again. Beast Boy hit the pavement hard, rolling to avoid a chunk of concrete that tore free from the sidewalk. He shifted into a cheetah, sprinting toward her through the chaos. Raven, he shouted, voice raw. She didn't hear him. Her mind was somewhere else, trapped in a storm of fear, memory, and that red energy clawing at her thoughts. Her cloak snapped like a living creature. Her hands trembled violently. The air around her warped, bending light and sound. Beast Boy shifted back to human, planted his feet against the psychic wind. Ray, look at me, he yelled, pushing forward inch by inch. The villain laughed, hers in hand. Red energy pulsed outward, feeding the storm around her. Raven's body jerked as if struck. Her eyes widened in terror. Stop, she whispered, voice breaking. Please, stop. The shadows surged again, this time directly at Beast Boy. He didn't dodge, he didn't run. He pushed through them, teeth gritted, arms shielding his face as the darkness clawed at him like icy fingers. Garfield, Raven choked, her voice flickering through layers. Get away from me. Not happening, he shouted back. I'm not leaving you. The villain's voice echoed across the rooftops. She can't hear you, she's drowning. Beast Boy ignored him. He reached her, barely, grabbing her wrist. Her skin was freezing, vibrating with unstable power. Raven, he said softer now, leaning close so she could feel the warmth of him. You're not alone, I'm right here. Her breath hitched. The shadows hesitated. For a moment the storm faltered, but the villain pressed his hand forward, sending a violent surge of red energy straight into her chest. Raven screamed, a sound that cracked the air, and her powers detonated onward in a shockwave that sent Beast Boy flying back again. He hit a car, metal crunching under him. Guard! Cyborg shouted from across the street, firing a sonic cannon to shield civilians. But Beast Boy pushed himself up, coughing, vision blurring. He saw Raven flowing higher now, hair whipping wildly, eyes glowing so bright they hurt to look at. She was losing herself. He forced himself to his feet. Ray, he whispered, voice shaking, come back to me. He shifted into a falcon, wings beating hard against the psychic wind, and shot upward. The closer he got, the more the shadows tore at him, ripping feathers, slashing at his skin, but he didn't stop. He shifted back to human midair, grabbing her shoulders. Raven, look at me. Her eyes snapped toward him, glowing, unfocused, terrified. I can't, she gasped. I can't control it. You don't have to, he said, pulling her closely to sight the energy burning against his skin. Just hold on to me. Her fingers curled into his shirt, desperate. The shadow screamed. The villain snarled. Enough. He sent another blast of red energy toward them. Raven's eyes widened, something inside her snapped, not in fear, in defiance. Her power surged, but this time the shadows wrapped around Beast Boy, protectively, shielding him from the blast. The villain staggered back, shocked. Raven's voice dropped to a low, trembling whisper. Don't touch him. The air stilled, the storm passed, and for the first time since the fight began, Raven was in control, barely, but enough. Beast Boy held her tighter, forehead pressed to hers. I've got you, he whispered. I'm not letting go. Her breathing steadied, the shadows quieted, but the villain wasn't done. Sorry about that. He raised both hands, red energy gathering to a massive spirit. Then let's see how long you can hold on. Raven's eyes flickered, white to violet to white again, her control slipping. Beast Boy felt her shaking. This wasn't over, not even close. Chapter 4, The Line Between Light and Ruin. The villain's red energy swelled above the ruined speed, pulsing like a heartbeat. The sphere grew larger, brighter, humming with a frequency that made the air vibrate. Raven felt it like a spike behind her eyes. Her grip on Beast Boy tightened. Garfield, I can't stop him, she whispered, voice trembling. And just so you know, Garfield is Beast Boy. That's his actual name. Besides Beast Boy, that's his actual name. Anyways. You don't have to stop him alone, he said, steady despite the chaos. We do this together. The shadows flickered around her, flickered, uncertain, torn between instinct and intent. The villain's voice boomed across the rooftops. Let's see how long your little anchor can keep you steady. We hurled the massive sphere of red energy toward them. Beast Boy reacted first. He shifted into a gorilla midair, slapping his fist into the ground to brace himself, shielding Raven with his body. The blast hit like a freight train, sending shockwaves through the street. Asphalt cracked, cars flipped, windows shattered in a chain reaction. But Beast Boy didn't move. He held his ground. Raven stared at him, stunned. Garfield, are you hurt? He shifted back, panting, bruised but standing. I've had worse. The villain snarled, pathetic. Raven's eyes darkened, not with loss of control, but with something sharper, resolved. She stepped forward, shadows swirling around her feet. You're not hurting him again. The villain raised a hand. Red energy cackling. You can't even control yourself. Raven flinched because he wasn't wrong. The storm inside her was still there, clawing, screaming, begging to break free. Beast Boy touched her shoulder gently. Ray, look at me. She did. His eyes were steady, warm, guarded, grounding. You're stronger than the storm. You always have been. Her breath caught. The shadows quieted. For the first time since the fight began, she felt something other than fear. She felt choice. The villain launched another blast, smaller, faster. Raven reacted instinctively, raising a shield of black energy. It flickered violently, threatening to collapse. But Beast Boy stepped beside her, bracing her with his presence. The blast hit. The shield held, barely. Raven gasped, knees buckling. Beast Boy caught her before she fell. Easy, he murmured. You're doing it. I can't hold it, she whispered, voice cracking. It's too much. Then lean on me. She closed her eyes, letting his warmth steady her. The shadows around her softened, curling protectively instead of wildly. The villain growled in frustration. Enough. He leaped from the rooftop, landing with a shockwave that sent dust spiraling. His cloak billowed, red energy cackling around him like a lightning. You are a weapon, he hissed at Raven. And weapons break. Raven's eyes snapped open, glowing violent now, not white. No, she said, voice low and steady. I'm not a weapon. She lifted her hand. The shadow rose with her, controlled, focused, sharp. I'm a titan. The villain lunged. Raven unleashed a blast of dark energy, not chaotic but precise. It slammed into him, sending him skidding across the pavement. Beast Boy's jaw dropped. Ray, that was awesome. She swayed exhausted. Don't compliment me yet. The villain staggered to his feet, mask cracked, red energy flickering. This isn't over. He vanished in a burst of crimson light. Silence fell. Raven collapsed. Beast Boy caught her instantly, lowering her head to the ground. Her breath was shallow, her skin cold. Her power still flickered beneath the surface. Raven, he whispered, brushing hair from her face, stay with me. Her eyes fluttered open, tired, vulnerable. You stayed, she murmured, always. She exhaled shakily, leaning into him. For the first time in hours, the shadows around her were still. And I'm going to pause here, and then there'll be a part 2 because, like I said, this is a big book. I'm actually kind of proud of this one, like more proud of this one than I am of like any other ones, but like there's a lot to this one, so